Hello, punters, and welcome back to another episode of NRL Unpopular Opinions. I am your host, Ryan Cook, and a man who says his fans don't know anything about rugby league. It's Oscar Panafex.
I don't have any fans. Come on now.
What are you calling him, Adam O'Brien?
You have Raider fans. The Raider fans are coming for you, my friend.
Yeah, they didn't like that, did they?
You didn't say anything bad about it.
No.
I thought we were very complimentary.
They're sensitive boys, though.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't won a grand final in a long time as well.
32
a little bit like us,
years,
folks.
yeah.
So
They still got 12 years on us.
Yeah, they took it the wrong way, didn't they? They took it the wrong way.
Well, they took it the right way.
Or the right way.
Where you want to look at it.
It was a bad week for them to take
It's cold
it that way.
down there. They're grumpy all the time.
They are.
I'm not crying. Ricky's crying.
A bloke who leaves the footy games early. We still haven't forgotten Jharal.
I don't really give a I was going to drink piss when you're a dad and you get a night out. I just really don't care. I was sinking beers at the Origin like it was no tomorrow.
What'd you say to me at halftime? I'm going to get Rugby League drunk.
Yeah, I was.
I didn't hear that.
That was so good.
Oh, man.
Man, I remember I was drinking beers at a pace that I don't think you were happy with.
Well, I was ready to get going. These boys drove, the idiots.
And did your car get bloody
My car got
impounded?
towed, so I didn't try.
That's what you get.
That's what you get. It was a kick in the teeth after a horrible night.
Oh,
so.
my
How'd you get home?
gosh.
Did you stay in?
I stayed at my sister's place.
Oh,
yeah,
bro.
but rough night.
Rough night.
Sleeping rough.
Mate, I got home at 3 o'clock. That's a rough night.
I want to know, have you heard back from Darren Lockyer? Because you gave him a buzz
I
at
did
halftime.
actually. Oh, yeah. What did we give him a mouthful, eh? D-Lock.
Called him while he was on the sideline.
Yeah, and I wrote to him at 9:03 on Wednesday the 28th of May, fraud, with an exclamation mark. He goes, where are you? I just wrote, was near you. I'll be back there soon. I didn't give him anything back. So,
Very vague.
Daryl, you know how it is.
One of the all-time clips I've got is you calling him while he's on the air and he's looking up trying to find where you are.
Oh, God.
We'll drop that on the socials.
That's funny, man.
People need to see that.
That's really good. That was a great night, boys. I mean, obviously not for Queensland side in general. Great night for New South Welshmen. But in all, it's always a good night when we go out together.
It's fun.
It is fun. I was having so much fun. I was enjoying myself a lot. It's not every day you can go to Suncorp and I suppose that's probably one of the nights where I can go and not get punished because people are so excited just about Origin. They're not worried about anything. If you go as a Bronco, like it's just too much, man.
Yep.
It's so hard. So that was such a fun night and we were so close to the bar. Oh, I'm salivating.
And Matt Nable was safe. Last time we went out, he wasn't. So.
Oh, poor Matt Nable. Poor Matt Nable.
I haven't introduced you yet, folks, but our favourite Mo man is here.
Hello, how we doing?
Ooh.
Well, we got a lot to talk about today.
certainly
because,
do.
Origin selections. Let's start with the most important stuff, and we've got one of DCE's best friends on the show dropped. What's going on, Jharal?
Yeah,
Give us
I
your
actually
thoughts.
look. For the first time in a long time, he's candy crushed me yesterday when I tried to call him. I think he would just be letting everything simmer a little bit. And he's one of those people that, he'll take a bit of time just to think about what's going on. And mate, he's probably got a decision to make in his, not only just in his career but his life. It's a big decision to make whether he wants to, walk away from Origin footy.
Yep.
As well and not be eligible, but. I just don't see him doing that. He's not that type. I just can't fathom him doing that. He doesn't give up.
Has it kind of been taken away from him?
Yeah, I think so.
At this point now?
not
Like
his
if he comes
decision.
out tomorrow and goes, I retire from Origin footy, it's kind of like, ugh.
I think he deserves to go out on his own.
Well, the thing is, right, I don't think they had a great second half, Manly against Newcastle.
Knights.
Awful.
Like and the thing is, I actually don't think he played terrible, on Origin night. Like, if we're talking about people that lost them, in a nutshell, New South Wales played out of their skin again. Like they had a game plan, they followed it, they played well, and they've got the remedy for winning in Queensland at the moment. And yeah, I don't think it was his fault. But the other thing is, Tom Dearden's form at the moment is incredible.
Yep.
So I think the writing's in the sand with him and the direction, and then bringing Ezra Mam in. It's always a hard one because I think the last person was 1996.
Trevor Gilmeister.
Trevor Gilmeister. But he'll take it on the chin because he's a Queenslander and he's a champion.
the neck.
Yeah, on the neck. Yeah, he'll take it right in the middle of the neck.
Sorry, Chess.
Nah, don't be sorry. That's funny.
Kick him there while he's
The
down.
other thing is, as a friend, like I always take the piss, but I don't. For this one, it's like I don't know where do I. You know, I sort of got to just be with him on this one and not probably take the piss because it's a big. This one would hurt. This one would hurt a lot.
For sure.
Do you think he'd be feeling like the scapegoat a little bit?
Nah, I don't think that's not. I don't think he would look at it that way. I don't think there's a. When you play for Queensland, Ryan, you have anyone that comes into that jersey, you don't own a jersey.
Yeah.
You don't own the jersey. That's just the way I can put it. No one owns a jersey. You can be the best player in the world and you don't own that jersey. That jersey sits there for the next person who's not ready in line, and that's the way I see it anyway. That's the way I always have seen it.
Yeah.
So if someone took it away from me when I was playing, that's because that would have been the right person for the job at the time, and I would not have been angry about that. So no one owns a Queensland jersey. A Queensland jersey is earned, and I believe that, you know, going forward, this side will do their best to play well in Perth.
If he gives you a ring right now, we'll happily take the content for the second time this year.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll pick that one up on this one. It might be a bit more sombre.
Yeah.
Might not be. Might be. Yeah.
Do you think, like, as a Queenslander, as a former Maroon, and maybe less so as Cherry Evans' mate, if you can, do you think it's the right decision from Billy?
No. For me, I don't think it is, because that's my...
Because he deserves the opportunity to go out his way because of what he's done, or because he's playing well enough to retain the jersey?
Yeah, I don't think that... and this is a big call to make, but when Darren Lockyer was in this situation, when he was not playing the best of his footy, I think Mal gave him every chance to rebuttal on it, and we all know what happened then.
Yep.
They won on an 8 in a row, off the back of him scoring that try at Suncorp Stadium. So, you know, there's always a fairy tale thought process in everything you think about, Oscar. I'll never question Billy, but I don't think it was the right one. And even if we do win, I still think, friend aside, personally for me, I just think that we should have let Ches play out and correct the wrongs in game one. But that's just the way it is. And I'm not a selector, so I'm a retired winger. So, people can have their opinions on what I think, but that's just what I think. That's what I think. And I would have stuck by him to give him the opportunity, because I know he's a winner. I know he's a competitor. And look, if it doesn't go... And a leader. And he loves this jersey, and so does Billy Slater. So it's a really hard one to make a decision on. But for me, I think that I would have let him run his course, play out the series, and not even about his last. Take that away. Imagine if he's the same age as as Tom did, and he's captaining this side. Yeah, I just think that it probably doesn't happen.
You just let him run.
I think we let him run the course. So that's my thought process. But in saying that, Billy Slater he's in the job for a reason. So that's just my opinion.
Mine is too, though, that Billy's feeling the pressure a little bit.
Yeah, I'm glad you said
that's that's how I look at it.
Like, you're going to feel the
Billy can't afford to let him play 3 games and just, run out there and do what he did in game 1.
Yeah.
Wow, there's so much to unpack there. Like, what changed between now and before game 1 when Cherry Evans was definitely the best?
I actually don't even know. That's the thing.
Like, what Tom... Weird. Like, I fully agree, and I really like the rhetoric that's come out of Queensland camp in terms of this is less about what Ches has been doing and more so about, like, Tom Dearden, what he's doing in clubland. Like, he's an inevitability for Queensland, right? It's a matter of time before he's in the 6 or the 7.
Correct. Yeah.
And the form that he's produced, not just since Origin 1, but all year. Like, he's been the form Queensland half in the competition.
Yep.
So I love that it's been all about, hey, Dearden's earned his shot, let's give him the jersey, he deserves it. That's true. But yeah, what changed between now and 4 weeks ago when Ches was the first choice 7? That for me is probably the question mark, I guess, that I have.
Well, we'll put it this way. Tom has won a series with Queensland. Daly's played in 5. Played in 7. 1 5.
28 games.
Captain 3. Yeah. Captain 3 of them. Yeah. I just think from from that point of view, you got to let someone dig their way out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like he's the right person for the job. That's just my point of view. But in saying that, I got no qualms. It's a hard one to talk about because I don't have a qualm against Tom Dearden as well.
And he suits Origin.
Yeah, correct.
Too.
And the fact that, I don't know if this has come out yet, but I know Cameron Munster is going to be the captain.
Is it?
I was about to ask who should have.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's been.
Yes.
I don't know if that's been announced, but I
think
hope,
it's coming out today.
I hope it's going to be announced. 'Cause
Holy shit. We got an exclusive here, boys.
So Cameron Munster will be the captain for Queensland, and I think it's the best decision Bill's made because
captain.
because
Will there be a VC?
I don't. Yeah, I'm not
Pat
sure about
Carrigan,
it. I just heard that coming out of our camp.
It's so over for you boys. It's
That is so
so
ominous, isn't
over.
It's scary.
Oh my god.
It's nice to.
All I can see is that image of a hungover Munster in that team photo from a few years ago.
Yeah, so it's a big one. I think Cameron Munster being given the captaincy. Not that he already has been playing good footy, but I think this is going to elevate him to another level.
Holy.
Very exciting stuff
is
for
exciting.
Queenslanders.
I've
yeah.
got goosebumps.
Yeah. Can we check that? Because what I've been told by good sources, but I'm pretty sure that he is the captain.
That's-
There it is. Yeah, 10 minutes ago.
Oh! This is the best.
On
You
the
broke
right
that,
side
you
of
broke that 11 minutes ago, I think, Jharal. So yeah, that's a Ned's first.
There's
you
your
go.
clip
Very
right
good.
there. Holy
Very
shit.
The other piece of Queensland news, and Fogs, you were advocating for this last week on the show, Ezra Mam.
Yes.
You're just as excited from what I can
Well,
take away.
yes. He's been in the squad before, and barring another flu going through camp, he won't play.
Yeah.
But the experience that he'll get from another camp with the boys and that system is very exciting, and I can't wait for him to take that back to the Bronx. He's already playing lights out. Obviously, a lot of people have issues with that selection, but you can't take away from what he's been doing for the Bronx.
Well, selection aside and all the stuff aside with him, they've given his punishment. They've given it to him.
Correct.
He's done it. Right.
Correct. Did his time.
Did his time in what they've given him. So it's $100,000. It was 10 weeks away from footy. Plus all this, plus everything that he's had to front end be, the person that he's had to be and change. And
he's been quite open about it all as well.
he has, and very apologetic, and
Yeah.
as you're going to be. And, from all reports, like I would be filthy as well if I was a victim. That is what it is, all right?
Yeah.
But we can't go past the fact, if we take that all away, the footy he's been playing since he's come back and changed what is happening at the Broncos, he might have had a little bit of a shocker against Manly, but I feel like he's running game and he's changed the direction. And when he comes onto footies, he is very scary. His decision making on the weekend was amazing against the Titans.
Oh, man.
Where he put the ball, his support play. It's Queensland like.
The Bronx are a different team when he's out there.
And it's nice to see him starting to play some good footy at the right time of the season for us as a club, but to have him in the side to, I suppose, be in an opposed side and to make them better in attack as a running half, I think it's the right choice for Queensland.
He'll be our 14 in no time.
Well, I was about to say,
No
from a
time.
cohesion and continuity perspective, it's like him, Ezra, Sammy Walker, and Tom Dearden
Yeah,
are
they're
going to
the-
be in and around.
they're the
It's going to be
next.
one of those. It's going to be two of those three for the next,
Yeah.
however many years.
Yep.
Touch wood, providing they all stay fit. So, yeah, it's nice. Curdy Mann as well. Shout
Yeah,
out.
good on him.
I think he deserves
Good on
his flowers, man.
He was great yesterday.
He was amazing. The way he runs the ball.
Invoked the spirit of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck
man,
to smoke Jermaine Hopgood, didn't he?
Well, that's
Wow.
a bit,
Another
it's a bit
Queenslander
weird
too,
to smoke
yeah.
him.
Wow.
Anyway,
Rolled him up.
I think he's going to be a really big threat on New South Wales if they have broken play, which they haven't. I don't feel like they were in game one. They were very regimented at how they defended. They were very good. Not that I noticed in the second half on the night, but I did rewatch the game.
Bit of a refresher.
I was blind.
Rugby league drunk, I think
yes.
is the correct term.
I definitely wasn't A-League drunk.
Yeah, no flares.
Wow. No, I think he'll really break open the game when he comes on.
He's just tough.
Which is what we need. Defends well in the middle. hold his own. So,
Yep.
yeah.
You can plug him anywhere. He reminds me of like Ash Harrison back in the day. Like you just need him to fill a spot. You just chuck him there, and he'll do a job for you.
And look, to be honest, we need to go out this game, Queensland, because we're not renowned for on the road. We have a terrible record with playing in Perth.
Never won in Perth.
And away. Like it's just we're not good. We haven't been there yet.
It's supposed to piss down as well.
Yeah, so this needs to be
audio podcast. Yes.
This needs to be come out of the block type shit for Queensland.
Yep.
And really scare them at the start because, they did what we wanted to do to them. They blew us off the park in the last 15 minutes, and they stayed in the fight. So, very good New South Wales side who know their structures and where they want to be on the field. So it's going to be a good game.
You said Queensland need to come out of the blocks early and win it early.
Well, not win it early, but I feel they've got to be aggressive.
Be
early.
aggressive and strong from the start. Like with that in mind, are you surprised that guys like Horsburgh and Fermor and even Jharal, I guess maybe to a lesser extent, have been left out?
Well, no,
for game 2,
because I think when you give this New South Wales side a penalty or an error, they capitalise, and those guys have those in them.
Yep.
So unfortunately for them, as much as they bring that energy and they can bring that, oomph to a game, it only takes one penalty to give away and throw that momentum. Oscar, you know what it's like. This game is so hard. It's a fragile footy game. Like if you fall on one side of the line and you're not on the right side of it, it can be a shellacking, or it can be 2 points in it. So it is this game. These Origin games are getting closer and closer. Like they are.
It feels like Billy's trying to control everything that he can control by picking guys like, and this was the same thing from game 1, Loiero over Horsburgh, for example.
Yeah.
Loiero is going to play 50 minutes. He's going to make 30 tackles for 1 miss, and he's not going to make an error, versus Big Red, who might bust 4 tackles and a line break, but then he might give away a penalty.
Yeah, correct.
Do you think that's where Billy's putting his focus?
Yeah, I think so. I think because you just can't you can't give away errors, especially off. I think we've noticed that Big Red has an explosion a lot towards closer games in the back end of games. That's when he gets
risky.
That's when he gets very emotionally attached to games, which is not a problem. But he's got to learn to curb that. And I think having him in the side has Billy's given him the opportunity to go, all right, this is what we need you to work on. Not from afar, they bring him closer to it.
Yep.
And get him to work on that. So I think he's done a lot better at it, but there's still a risk there for that, because we know what Corey Horsburgh's going to give you. Corey Horsburgh. We know what he's going to give you. He's aggressive and he's scary.
Yeah.
But we can't have that all the time when there's penalties getting done. And to be honest, he early in that game,
against Souths.
Yeah, he was very, very aggressive. Very aggressive. But even in Origin 1, I feel like a lot of the 50-50s for once at Suncorp weren't going our way. I feel like they were falling New South Wales' way. And that's a hard thing to take. We weren't getting the rub of the green, which, is normal at times. And I'm not saying that just because we're at Suncorp. I'm just saying sometimes, as down in New South Wales, it falls New South Wales side sometimes. So I think it struggled. The 50-50s weren't going our way, unfortunately. And at the end of the game, you could tell that we'd given a lot to try and fight back those 50-50s that just didn't work for us. And we don't need someone who's going to give away those 50-50s in the end of the day.
Well put. I've seen the bloke to my right get emotionally attached to games too. He's dragging his feet out of some
financially attached. What?
Sitting in the Uber on the way home, he probably copped most of it.
The driver did well to keep up.
Mate, you know what was the hardest? having
Uber driver.
Having Jimmy Maloney up in the Caxton afterwards, and just copping. I was just copping it, and I just asked him how many Origin he played. He said 1. I said, "Well, shut up, mate. I played 3."
Did he only play 1?
I think he only played 1 series.
So you're 3
One
times
series
the
or one
player
game?
One
Jimmy
game. I
Maloney
think.
is.
No, did he? Hold on.
Surely Jimmy Maloney played more than 1 game.
It sounds crazy. How much did he win? Sorry.
Oh, how many games did he win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, apologies.
Not many during that era.
Yeah. But he's a good sport. He's a good sport, Jimmy.
cracker,
Love you,
mate.
mate. No, mate. You know what? He can take the piss. And he can take the piss with the best of them. And I knew that's why he was up there. And I just felt like getting him kicked out. I was like, get him out of here. But then I was like, you know what? If this happens in New South Wales and I'm down there, I give the fuck. I will give the same thing correct. So I'll just shut my mouth.
James Maloney played 14 games for New South
I
Wales.
was going to say.
How many series did he win? One.
Just the one.
2013 to 2019, so probably
13,
1
yeah.
to 14,
I think he did.
maybe 2
Okay.
or 3.
Anyway, he had the right to be up there and giving shit. So. He didn't have the right of the strippers afterwards, though.
The truth comes out.
This poor stripper, Queensland strippers, were copping it. I mean, that's what I heard. Anyway.
You weren't there.
He's only tipping the Blues. The ones that, where are you from? Get the out of here.
What was going through my mind?
No wonder you had last week off. Far out.
That's why you're sick.
Yeah.
No.
You can't lick them poles.
That's funny.
We'll do a full Origin show next week, next Monday before game 2.
Yes.
Let's go to Clubland. We're about halfway through the home and away season, as Oscar says. Do we have to? Let's talk about the Dragons, because we need to talk about that 50-point beatdown against the Finns.
50 in the house.
Yeah.
Bounce.
Friday night. Once again, Flano has delivered some gold.
Has he?
Post game.
I missed that part.
Pretty much the same as, I don't know what he said way back in round 4 when we spoke about this. He had no answers as to why that happened. Said afterwards that it wasn't up to standard and that it will be fixed.
Yeah, I can promise you that.
Yeah,
something like that.
Bring
yeah.
your mouth guards to training.
Yeah, is that what he said? Is that
No,
what
he
he
didn't say that, but that's the vibe.
Yeah,
that's the vibe.
It was so good.
Jharal, I think you said start of the year, Dragons top 8, if I'm not wrong. Someone did.
No, it definitely wasn't me.
You would have hung shit on him.
I didn't hang shit on him. Remember, I said good luck to him.
Yep.
I did because Dozer was gone and we're trying to be nice.
Oh, it must have been off air. You said that. You said some real bad things off air.
I think they said that they would fall out of the 8. That was my prediction on them. Fall out. I didn't think they would make the 8. And, at the moment, it's becoming apparent that they are getting shitter and shitter as the weeks go by.
But see, that's interesting you say that, because the last few weeks it feels like they're improving. From what I've read.
Oh, yeah, well, they won the week before because of the bye, Ryan. That's why. So they can't lose that one.
Yeah, very true. Anyway, where I'm going with all this is they play the Sharks, short turnaround on Thursday, Shark Park.
Oh, can we talk about the Sharks?
Cronulla just as disappointing.
Wow, hold on, what's happened to them? Remember when Oscar at the start of the year said they would kill it because they don't have any Origin players?
I do.
They are starting to fall hard, and I love it. My best friend's a Sharky supporter, so Fieldy, you can get fucked because I don't want them to make the 8. I can't stand Shark supporters. They just have this, I don't know what's wrong with them. They're sick in the head. They're just there's no need for them to be loud, and they've got a great side.
They have
but they're not
such a good side.
They're not performing, which is very similar to the Broncos, and I get it. But we talk about them all the time on the podcast. So let's go with the Sharks.
Let's talk about the Sharks.
Let's go with them.
108 points they've allowed over the last 3 weeks.
Have they really?
Yeah.
And you know what we did say at the start of the year?
They're a good defensive team.
They're great defensive team.
Yeah.
We did.
They're they were a tough defensive team.
And they have been flying under the radar. I feel like there's a team every year, right? Last year, the Raiders, we spoke about the Raiders flying under the radar, and we had to talk about them because we were sick of them winning. We should not talk about them anymore because they're f***ing killing it. But Jesus Christ, what's happening, Cronulla? What's happening?
Yeah, I'm a bit like Flano. I don't have any answers for you, but I promise you I'll figure it out. I don't know.
288 points conceded.
Nico Hines is not the problem, but he's he kind of personifies what's going on with Cronulla at the time. And right now, his defense has not been great, but what he's doing with the ball right now is it's a problem and not in.
It's just catch and
rugby
pass
league problem.
It's poor organisation.
Yeah, but there are a few times there where he's turning and passing and almost shrinking from the defence. He's scared. I'm not going to say he's scared of getting hit sitting on this pad. I'm not going to say an NRL player is scared of getting hit, but he's not digging into the line like he used to. And his pass selection, I don't know, I'm going to say maybe 3 or 4 times in the whole game, he got the choice right between hitting Nikora or hitting Ramian. Ramian got hospital passes all game. The amount of times he got jammed, lying on his back and looking up at Nico going, what the
bro.
Yeah.
Why are you passing me the ball? Like,
Yeah.
it just, Nico's, for whatever reason, he's really, really out of form at the moment. And it's, I mean, like, it filters through the rest of the squad, I guess, when your halves aren't making the right options.
And I suppose people will go, well, why do we go at Nico Hines all the time? Well, because he's their star player. You can't. It'd be like any player in a team, like Adam Reynolds. There's a lot of talk about when their side's not going well about Reece Walsh. You go at the players who are the star players because they're supposed to change the game.
He's got a Dally M.
That's just the way it is, unfortunately.
It's worrying. I'm concerned for them.
They are not playing up to their standard right now, and I mean, Flano said he's going to get a response, so he'll get his chance this week because Thursday night the Sharks play the Dragons at Shark Park.
Yep, big one.
So that is a big one.
When does the pressure start coming for Craig Fitzgibbon?
What did he?
We haven't really spoken about that.
I don't think he is even, like, since becoming an NRL head coach, I'm not sure his name has even been mentioned, in those conversations. And I'm not saying that he should be, but I think, like, it's only a matter of time. Rugby, it's a fickle game, and we've got fickle fans.
Well,
if they keep losing games they should win, you got to start asking the question, because, like, they're missing a couple of dudes here or there, but by no means are injuries an excuse. The draws, it's.
I think we said the Sharks would be a top 4 side.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That was the expectations.
Yeah, and they're in 5th at the moment.
Yeah, and could drop to as low as 12th with a loss this week.
Well, the
based on
Broncos
buys.
have buys this week.
Yep.
Bronco has a buy this week. There's a lot of teams that have buys this week that are below them.
So they'll jump over them, you'd imagine.
Yeah, if they lose this weekend.
Jeez.
Yeah, and look.
They just lost Kale Ito as well.
Just to put it this way, like the Broncos, if we're putting, because there's always talk about the Broncos, like everywhere, and everyone's talking about how bad of a season they'll go to 16 points this weekend, the Bronx, which will push them into 5th position on 4 and against, if the Sharks concede more than 12 points, which is crazy.
Yep.
Which is absolutely crazy. So. This is starting to become the business end of the season. When it's after round 12, this is when you need to start winning games. And if you're not going to be anywhere near playing finals footy.
Yep. And I think to your point earlier in the season, Oscar, you said this is when the Sharks should be winning games because they're not going to be missing players to Origin.
None.
And they're 10.5-point favourites against the Dragons on Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah,
I might miss that game. I have no interest in that at all.
I wouldn't be betting on that game with
40 to 10.
Any of your guys' money. Yeah,
that's just
like what happened on the weekend with the Wars. For example, it's a good example of what happens when the Sharks attack doesn't work. They got guys like Nico, Trindle, and Will Kennedy who are really good at icing opportunities. If there's a lazy middle that retreats down a short side and he's late getting there, then they'll hit the short side. Nico will get over the ad line and run, and he'll tip and Ronaldo will score in the corner. If they got guys peeling late out of tackles, or if they guys go to the wrong side of the ruck, they can identify the cues and they can punish them. But none of those 3 guys are very good at creating those cues in the first place.
82 points over 2 weeks.
Wow.
And that,
Wild.
Conceded. Yeah, and so I think that's a result of like scoreboard pressure and pressure within games. Like they're not a poor defensive team. The spots around Nico are getting targeted more and more, but it's because every time they get into good ball, they're not coming away with points, and suddenly they're getting they're conceding a lot of meters in yardage. It's a problem.
I'll put it this way: if there's big points put on them this weekend, do you think it's hard for them to
come back?
Well, not come back. Do you think there's a flaw in their defence this weekend? If they go 3 weeks in a row of big blowouts?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay.
Systematically, they got pretty much the same cattle in the same system since Fitzy's been there, and it's good. I think Teague Wilton missing for a month has really hurt. Billy Burns tries really hard, but he's been getting spotted.
Trying really hard doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah. But
in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Oh, great song.
It's a problem. Depth. They've just lost Kale Ito.
Yeah, and he's on a heater. He's scored in every single NRL game this year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible. I think it's a record NRL record. First 10 games to person who scored first 10 rounds.
And now he's Gornsky's.
Oh, is he?
He's done a peck or something. So
does that run keep going then? So if he comes back?
Yeah, well, yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Consecutive.
Good luck with him with that run, but not to the Shark.
Before we take a break, let's quickly chat about Mal Meninga being announced as the Perth Bears
Yeah.
coach.
Huge.
Brad Arthur says, "Hey, you still up? What happened there?" He
Yeah.
was like promised the gig 3 weeks
It
ago.
felt like a certainty, didn't it?
Well, put it this way. We would say that Mal and Wayne are pretty similar people in the way they coach, right? And I think for an attraction,
Yeah.
you have to have someone
Big
who
marquee name.
is a big marquee coach who's going to attract and not put too much pressure early on in a side. And I can tell you this right now, being coached by Mal Meninga, he's the right man for the job in the first couple of years of this role.
Yep.
Because he will get players, he'll get the right staff that'll get the right players to want to. Because it's a big move, man. You know, it's a big move to move across the other side of Australia to play rugby league. Because, you know, some players might like it, some players might not. But I think he's the right man for the
Do
job.
they get
right
some
now.
FIFO players? Can they get some FIFO NRL contracts
from
going?
Mackay
Like
or
the coin? Yeah,
It's-
double matchy.
I just find it crazy that they're going to be so far away from just all the. It's like Melbourne. It's like a Melbourne team starting again, right? They're going to be so far away from all the heat
Yep.
that if you want to go play footy with not all the nonsense that comes with the media,
True.
go there. Go there and enjoy your footy.
It's a good point.
It's not a bad place. Look, people from Perth are a little bit different. I can definitely say that. I've been there a few times, and it feels like I'm in a different country in Perth. That's what I think anyway. So I don't know how they're going to approach and embrace the NRL.
There's a lot to do within, a year and a half?
Mate, it's insane.
It doesn't
how
like-
quickly
it feels-
it's been rushed in.
Yeah, it feels like it's a long way away, but it's not. We spoke about this on the AFL show yesterday because there's expansion talks in the AFL. And the boys thought that there's not enough talent to fill these two new teams that they might bring in.
Yeah.
Are you guys sort of on the same page with rugby league?
I think that's a bullshit argument. I think that if you create the systems, you will develop more talent. Like, okay, maybe right now, but they're setting up the pathways, and I think it's on the organisations to create that talent. Like,
I also
You're
think
right, but you're
We're-
right, but that's not what they do. They just
Yeah.
create clubs and then wait for the talent to come. There is no doubt that there is going to be a lull in the average quality level for a couple of years. Look what happens when, like that example we just used, Teague Wilton drops out. Billy Burns has played, 50 NRL games. Like, he's been around for a long time. He comes in, that left edge falls apart.
Yeah.
That's just one example. And there's going to, we have to make two whole new teams worth of, respectfully, Billy Burns's.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Fogs. They need to create the pathways, but they need to do that before they create the clubs.
But also, put it this way, look how successful Melbourne's been, right? From being in Melbourne, but Ryan Pappenhausen's probably the only kid that ever is he from Melbourne?
Suafalonga is the
Well, there
only
you go.
Victorian.
There you go.
And young Tonamapea.
That's what I mean. Like, we've got to caress kids to make sure they come out of that area, right?
I know.
Has there been a Perth kid ever play out of Western Australia?
Caleb Ponga's the only one.
He was born there.
Yeah, I
Born
know.
there.
I know.
That's
Queenslander.
in Queensland.
There is a lot of talk because there's a lot of South Africans that go over to Western Australia. They might pinch a few South Africans from Union because they're not on a massive amount of coin playing Union over there. So I think that's a decent pathway to blood some players and get some
Yeah,
pathways
that's not
set
far.
up
It's
there.
actually less than. Is it less flight?
Yeah, I think so.
It's short.
Rich, can you confirm? He's not listening.
It's from Sydney.
Playing solitaire.
9
again.
hours, you reckons? 9 hours.
9 hours.
Yeah,
So
to
it's,
Perth.
Bit of a
South
walk.
Africa.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think it's going to look. I think that if we're talking about the right man for the job, he's the right man for the job right now.
Yes.
Do we think that they will be successful straight away? No, because it's just not. It's not plausible. It just doesn't work like that. Look at the Dolphins, and they're sitting in rugby league God's country. You know what I mean? Like they're on the realm of only being the first to make the top 8 this year.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and they've gone through a coach. You know, they're in their second tenure of a coach. So, and the great man Wayne Bennett had laid a great platform. So, I've got no doubt that he's the right man for the job. It's just whether they can get the players to buy in to move to Perth. Like that's the biggest thing. If you ask me and I'm still playing, if I want to go live in Perth, no.
If you love the beach and that sort of lifestyle.
And if you don't want
love
the
the
Sharks.
Yeah.
Go play for the Titans.
You don't want the pressure. Like I think that's the biggest thing. If there's a lot of young kids who don't who don't want the pressure,
You'll be-
that's the place to go.
Yeah.
I joked about the FIFO work before, but would it not be the case that like they'll do tours, right? Like they'll come to New South Wales and play 3 New South Wales based teams in a
You
week
can't
in a row.
take the
series.
Wars over there. That would be the longest away leg in the world. It is for the soccer
They'll
when
meet
it's
somewhere in the middle.
Wellington versus the Glory. It's the
Well, they'll
longest
have to-
away
they'll have
leg
to
in
meet
world
in
football.
Queensland.
Is it really?
Yeah, they call it the distance
They'd have to
derby.
meet in Queensland. It'd have to be like...
Yeah.
I think that that would be the game they take to North Sydney Oval. I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, true.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it
yeah,
does.
meet in the middle.
But yeah, like that will be a disincentive for some players with like families. You're not going to want to be away for blocks of 3 or 4 weeks. 3 or 4 times a year, for example.
For sure. Yeah.
I think it's easy for the boys, a lot of these older fronties that went to the Dolphins, great place to move for them.
Oh,
They're moving to Queensland, sunny state, they're not far away from their families.
Sleepy little beaches up around Redcliffe.
It's beautiful. And they actually, travel-wise, the furthest they go is Melbourne, or probably, Townsville? No, it's Melbourne. Melbourne's the furthest place they go, so it's not really...
Yep.
So this is the biggest one. I think it'll be a lot of young players. I think that's where it'll be.
Yeah.
So you don't think it'll be like a Selwyn Cobbo?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Younger.
I think you'll find that Selwyn won't go far from Brisbane.
Okay.
If he's going to go anywhere, and that's another
Did you hear
conversation.
the Newcastle rumours?
No,
About
they're
Caleb
not very
Pochettino
good.
going to uni.
No, Selwyn going there.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. But anyway, that's completely unrelated.
It is.
So many scoops from you today,
Yeah.
Jharal. That's
Yeah, thanks,
good.
guys.
We'll take a break, come back, pick a multi, and get out of here. You are listening to NRL Unpopular Opinions. Fellas, time to talk about the multi last week. 1 from 4. I had the Raiders 13 plus. That was the only leg that got up. Fogs, you had the Titans to cover.
Yes, I did.
No good?
Well, I was happy to fall on my sword to get the Bronx back
Yeah.
on track there. We said that last week, I think. So, yeah, what can you do?
There's only a tattoo on the line.
That's it.
Yeah, so who's for? Okay, what did you go?
Sharks. Up.
Down, down.
What'd you go, Jharal?
And I went Manly apparently. But you know what? I'm not gonna whinge about that. I would have probably gone them. It's fair.
It's still spicy. So I'm 11 and 4. Jharal, you're 7 and 8. And then Fogs and Oscar 6 and 9.
Ooh,
6 to 9.
We need to
Dinner
talk
for two
about
with a hairy view.
we actually met mine at the we seen the tattooist.
Yes,
Oh,
we
that's
did.
right.
We did
Some
too.
call.
Yeah.
That's right.
Did we not?
He's going to have some work cut out for him, I think.
Oh gosh, it's looking like it could be a 3-man horse race in the end.
A third of a tattoo each.
We could get one that's like on our arms where we connect them.
Yeah, join them up.
That would be funny. Oh,
This week, I am going to take the Dragons to cover that plus 10.5 point line on Thursday night against Cronulla. Fogs, what do you got for us?
I'm taking the Dolphins to cover against the Cows. I'm just really enjoying the way Katoa's playing his football at the moment. I think he'll steer them to victory in a big way.
Jharal, you are in on a line as well.
yeah, I'm going the Newcastle Knights and the Roosters game. I'm going in the minus 5.5. $1.90 actually with the Roosters.
That's a good
I'm gonna
line.
go. Yeah, it's a good one.
Not surprised to see you on that, Jharal. I'm going to follow my mate, Jharal. And I'm going to take Daniel Tupu to score any time
Toops!
in that game on
Jeez, he's still playing good
East's
footy.
left edge. Yeah, he's the man, eh?
You know what? I'll have to say this. Brett Morris was probably one of my favourite wingers to watch play footy and play up against him. But, man, I think this guy is starting to take the cake. I appreciate his age and how he's getting better. I feel like he's getting better.
He's just so consistent.
He's so consistent. And he carries so hard. And he gets his nose through every
He's
time.
never injured.
Yep.
I probably got B-miles ahead, but yeah, Toops is...
And he's a New South Welshman. I don't know what, but I will say I love him. I love how he plays footy. I do.
Well, I love that he'll probably pay about maybe $1.90, $2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're sitting at $6.75 before teams get announced. So I don't have a final price
Yeah.
until we throw in that try scorer. But yeah, we'll be around.
That's
$8.
juicy, boys.
Yeah.
We need another one.
We do.
We've only got one this year, right?
Been a while.
Yeah. What was it, like round 2?
Yeah.
It's one better than last year.
That's it.
It's
Small
hard
wins.
to pick a 4-leg multi.
It's
man.
hard.
It is.
It is hard.
It honestly is. I've watched friends go through droughts for years and suck shit to them.
We've got a whole company based on fact. So
Before we get out of here, boys, if I say the name Billy Boston, what does that mean to you?
Billy
Anything?
Billy
Billy
Boston.
Boston. He's going to become the first rugby league player to be knighted.
Knighted.
Yeah, 90 years old.
Anointed.
So his name will be Sir Billy
Sir
Boston.
Billy Boston. Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a
15
character from the
years.
Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, sounds like it. 15 years playing for Wigan, 488 games.
Wow.
That's a lot of games.
Do we think that the Knights should start that? That'd be pretty cool. Wouldn't that be cool though? They should actually bring someone who can
actual
knight
knight.
people. Yeah.
Joey Johns.
Mate,
Like
if you to be a Newcastle Knight, you have to be knighted. So they're all sirs.
No, not that. Because then you get
Stupid
you get
idea.
ring-ins from
It's
anywhere.
just all 80-year-olds.
I reckon if you're a one club player at that club, you get knighted.
You get
That'd be
knighted.
pretty cool.
An honourable.
Wouldn't that be cool? It actually could be a reason to be like,
So who'd you have? You'd have like Cameron Smith.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's in Melbourne, so he'd be.
Oh,
zapped. He'd be
specifically
zapped.
Newcastle.
Yeah, it's
so
like an
Specifically
in-house thing,
Newcastle.
like a pretend
It's-
knight,
yeah.
a
I'm
pretend
back.
knighthood.
I'm back.
Yeah,
Who
but
would
then
get
you.
it? Gags.
No, he's been at the.
Oh, one club you said.
Yeah, one club player.
Bradman Burst.
Bradman Best, Sir Bradman Best. That sounds
That
good.
goes hard as hell.
Wow. Anyway, the shit we come up with.
Yeah,
Right?
great.
Well, congratulations, Billy Boston.
Sir Jack Hetherington.
First of his name. Where are you going with this?
I'm just throwing it out there. It's
Yeah.
a fun rugby league fact.
That is a fun run.
That was
That's
fun,
very
Ryan.
cool.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Ryan.
thanks.
Yeah.
I'm all about fun on this show. Fun guy. Boys, anything on this weekend?
The footy's on.
Yeah, rugby league. I mean, look, I'm really looking forward to Origin next week. I mean, it's going to be a pretty juicy week for the tabloids and what they're going to write about Queensland because, you know, turning on your captain is going to be the rhetoric that's going to go out throughout this week. We know that's going to happen, and I've got to say, I hope Bill brings out the paper and puts it up on the wall, sticks it on the wall, because that'll get them going, I believe. Not enough to win them the game, but that'll just give them a little bit extra, the reason why they need to get up and go. So, I think it's going to be a juicy week in the media.
It's a big week of sport. We've also got the World Test Championship final starting tomorrow. Our Aussies taking on South Africa. So
You versus Rich.
Couple late nights for me, and then straight into Origin.
And what about the Socceroos?
Yeah, well, we should wake up tomorrow and be in
We'll
the
be in the
World
World
Cup.
Cup.
Wow.
I'll be off to that World Cup next year as well.
You going?
huge.
I'm going to the
wow.
World Cup next year. And what about the headline? Did you see it? What's his last name? Is it Bisha? Bisha?
Beige.
Bayic?
Oh, yeah.
I think the headline on the back of the paper was, "Get that Bayic into you." It's a
It
good
was
one.
hell of a
good one.
hit,
So
man.
let's hopefully that we're in another World Cup would be a great for the nation.
Massive week of sport.
Yeah.
Massive
Would be
week
good.
of sport.
And Fogs, you're off to Perth next week.
Yeah, so we'll do the potty on Monday, and
Yep.
I'll go straight to the airport.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank God.
How
I mean, what?
Get out of here.
What are you going there? You're going to lay the groundwork for the Bears.
A little bit of that, you know, help Did and sort of settle into Perth, make sure he's ready, hang out with Captain Munster.
Scouting a few
Are you
local
actually
rugby
going
league
for
clubs
Origin?
down there.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
He's doing a hat trick potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
Well done, man.
Bit of a bucket list thing for me to go to all 3 Origin games. Hopefully it's not a whitewash.
I was about to say, you travel all the way around the country just to watch Queensland lose 3
I
times.
think
And you know what? If this happens, we'll be talking to.
I'll never go to another
Yeah,
game.
we'll be saying,
Never again. Send me.
Yes.
Send me, Tom.
yeah, so they can lose.
I think the last Maroons win I saw live was JT's last game, so I think I am a bit of a bad omen.
geez.
It was the MCG last year,
that's a long
game
time
1.
ago,
Yeah,
man.
it's been a while.
Get us out of here. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
On that note, let's wrap it up.
See you, boys.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website